Moving on to disasters in dollars, Lisa Dietlin, President and CEO of the Institute of Transformational Philanthropy, is joining us. Good to have you here. Bring us up to date. You are in the philanthropy business. What's happening with donations to earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria?
Oh, Angie, it's so devastating. You know, the death toll is over 50,000 people now that have died, and it's overwhelming. And according to the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, it's kind of fallen off of our radar. For some reason, I don't know if we have donor fatigue or if our news cycle keeps moving through things, but we really aren't donating like we have in the past to disasters. And there is such a need.
With the numbers down, what are some ways to make donations?
You know, we all know and we've heard of Chef Jose Andres with the World Central Kitchen. He is on the ground with his team and he is providing food. So go to World Central Kitchen. He's got information about what he's doing in Turkey and Syria, as well as, you know, what the World Central Kitchen overall does, and make a donation. And remember, cash is king. You know, he doesn't need you to send a box of food or water. Send cash, make a charitable donation. The same is true with Doctors Without Borders. When there's an earthquake or a devastating natural disaster, a lot of people are injured.
I'm just so surprised. Americans tend to be the most generous people on the planet, not to mention traders. They always dig deep. It's hard to figure out what went wrong here.
I have no clue either. You know, you think about the first earthquake happened the beginning of February, and I was thinking back in my mind, like, what was going on in the beginning of February? I mean, we had some wonky weather going across the country, but I'm like, there really wasn't anything else. I guess we were really focused on what was happening in other parts of the world, like Ukraine and the invasion by Russia and coming up on the 1-year anniversary. But I participated in a webinar, and it was shocking to me that for some reason, this disaster just hasn't hit home with the American public.
What are some safe ways, though, Lisa, to make sure that people do not get scammed when making donations?
You know, I always recommend a couple of sources. One is the Better Business Bureau's Wise Giving Alliance. Most of us know the Better Business Bureau for business. They also rate and assess charities. That's a great place to go. Another great place to go is Charity Navigator. They too review and rate national charities. And the last place I recommend is GuideStar. If you really want to get in the weeds, GuideStar.org actually puts up all the tax filings, which we call 990s. That's our tax filing in the nonprofit sector. And you can go through line by line. But those three organizations, if you find a nonprofit on there with a good rating, you are pretty good to go to make a charitable donation.
Thank you, Lisa. I hope this makes a difference.
I do too. Thank you. And I hope our audience really steps up and supports the people of Turkey and Syria.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.